Let's feast. We're 2 sleeps till training camp. Landry Locker here with you. You know I'm here. Because we talking football, man. Like we're not taking any breaks or anything like that. So let's take a look at everything that's gone on with the Texans. And let's start with the good news. The Texans signed Ersery to a contract. Now, I don't even know who to credit here. I really don't know how to credit here. A lot of y'all hopping in. I just got back from the media availability, the kickoff event. But Ersery signs his contract. Nick Caserio given the fully guaranteed deal to Higgins. Did not impact that. And Ersery has signed his contract. And obviously, he'll be on the field 2 sleeps from now. So that's good. I do want to hear what Nick Caserio has to say. And that's going to be one of my main questions to Nick Caserio is the rumblings and everything that was talked about with the Higgins contract and the impact it had on second round picks. Like, how do you feel about it? I think it's something that Nick will feel pretty passionate about, and I look forward to hearing what Nick has to say about that. But they did get Ersery signed, and good for Nick Caserio. Good for Nick Caserio. He did not prevent himself from signing his other second round pick, who, by the way, he tried to trade way too much for and would have made the draft way worse. But that's neither here nor there. That's not even like that's not even a conversation to have when he's up there. So we'll look a little bit more into that. But Ersery has signed his contract. How about that? Shout out to the chat. Let's see what we got. Shane, this is a blind push right here. This might be the worst thing ever. I don't know. I just pushed it on the chat, and we'll see what you got, Shane. He says, Harris still recovering from his calf injury last training camp. Penny stock is so low. You'd have to pay me at this rate. I'm not paying you for that penny stock. I'm buying the penny stock. I think Christian Harris is going to be good. But that's a hell of a chat right there. I like that, man. Shout out to Shane. Shout out to Shane doing his thing right there with the dog and the I don't know if that's his wife or his girlfriend, whatever, but shout out to you, man. It's a good looking couple right there. And a hell of a dog. Pawn Shop says, what's up? 320 says, hey. Mr. High says, what's up, Lando? What up? Zach says, we ready for camp. Hashtag me too. Not the old me too. Nah, I don't believe all women. I don't believe all anything. I don't even believe all family members, to be honest with you. I don't believe all anything. So, yeah, hashtag me too, but like a new me too, not the old me too. Damn, what am I doing right now? Shout out to Jacob, Texans Jacob, at Texans Jacob on X. He says, I'll buy Harris stock, LOL. Got to buy it, man. Got to buy it. Francisco buying it too. As well. So I've been kind of digging around, and I've been kind of talking about this Noah Fant thing, and it's it's a combination of the people that are still here and just every resource I have. And when it comes to should the Texans sign Noah Fant, I don't think so, because I think they're going to lean towards the passing production being with the slot receivers. And I think this is kind of connected to why the Seattle Seahawks, why they have kind of moved on from Noah Fant, because I think they're kind of going in the same direction. And it's not like the same Nick Caley connection or anything like that, but they got Cooper Kupp, and they got Jackson Smith and Jigba. And I think they're looking at their production being like from a receiving perspective from the slot receivers instead of the tight end position. And I think at this point, Noah Fant has looked at a guy who's not a willing blocker, and he's kind of a guy who you can't trust. It's very Dalton Schultz-like. So I feel like the Texans are not going to even entertain the possibility of Noah Fant because they kind of feel like they have Noah Fant with Dalton Schultz. And they also, like the Seahawks, they feel like they have slot production to where they don't have to worry about that. So I don't think the Texans are going to entertain this possibility. Still see it happening. Now, with that said, I will say I kind of feel like there's not a lot of happiness with Dalton Schultz. I don't feel like the Texans feel good about Dalton Schultz moving forward. Now, I know there's been kind of a push with, okay, could Dalton Schultz improve next year? Could Dalton Schultz be revived? This is based on my information and the way I talk to people. I feel like they're just trying to make do with Dalton Schultz right now. I think in a best case scenario, they're looking for Cade Stover to be a guy who's willing to do the dirty work. And maybe Dalton Schultz can be a guy that's, I don't want to say third down specialist, because I think that might be insulting. But if you look at what happened with Fant and the fact that they released him and they saved $8 million in doing so, I'm not saying it's like a proportional decision, but if the Texans could have saved money releasing Dalton Schultz this year, I think they would have done it. And they did not save money. Matter of fact, they basically guaranteed him. Like Nick Caserio basically franchise tagged him twice. And I would imagine that during the tape watching, Nick Caley watched Dalton Schultz play football last year and said, how the fuck did you guarantee this guy $11 million 2 consecutive years? Seriously, like, how did you do that? Like, if you would have franchise tagged him once, you would have punted from it. But how did you do that? And it's actually kind of fascinating. If you look at what tight ends did last year that were under like 1-year deals, like you look at Jonnu Smith, you look at Zach Ertz, the fact that the Texans guaranteed Dalton Schultz 2 years, it almost makes me think that Bobby Slowick maybe got punished for this, because Bobby Slowick always talked really good about Dalton Schultz. Like it almost makes me think that like maybe they like held that against him. I have no idea. Like maybe they blamed it. But I think in a perfect world, with the way that Dalton Schultz played football last year, the Texans would love nothing more than being able to just say bye-bye. But the way the contract is laid out, it's basically 2 franchise tags, and they're bringing him back. And I think there's a lot of disgust with that. I think there's an incredibly lot of disgust with the way that Dalton Schultz played last year and with where his contract is. Take that how you will. It is the locker room. Shout out to Cody Stutes, SNL. Monday through Friday, 4:00. Been incredible, by the way. incredible time spent listening on SNL. My God. I'm not trying to get like too nerdy or anything like that, but my God, it's been incredible. You ain't never hate.
Swarm.
On the chat, Pawn Shop says he's excited to see Nick Chubb. Yeah, we'll see what's up with that. I don't know what that's going to be, what that is, but got the Dameon Pierce thing as well. Team player says Nick Caley might give him some direction. I don't think Nick Caley thinks he's going to revive Dalton Schultz. It's kind of awkward. Like, let's be serious. Let's be serious. Like, let's just be honest about it, about this whole thing. So, Nick Caley loves tight ends. And he's been around some good ones. You look at Marty B, you look at Gronk. Like, he loves that. And they invested heavily in the tight end position when he was with New England. But Nick Caley came into this situation and he watched Dalton Schultz's tape last year. Y'all all watched it. Y'all watched it play by play. Do you really think he sat there and said, man, I can't wait to work with this guy? Do you really think he like put in the tape of Dalton Schultz last year and said, man, I really can't wait to, damn, this is a guy that I can't wait to get this going. I'm just asking y'all. Because y'all watched it in the moment, but like if you hadn't watched it in the moment, and I doubt Nick Caley was too familiar with how Dalton Schultz played last year. But when he took this OC gig, do you think he put in the tape of Dalton Schultz and said, damn, that's what's up. Can't wait to work with that. It's really rhetorical. Because y'all all know that. Like, and now we get the situation where it's like, oh, Nick Caley's going to turn him around and Nick Caley's doing that. Why are you setting him up like that? I like Nick Caley. I love Nick Caley, man. I think he's a hardo. I think he's got a good background. I think he's a good OC. But, like, do you really think Nick Caley, who's like a nerdy-ass football guy from Ohio, do you really think he put on the tape and said, damn, I can't wait to work with that motherfucker? Excuse my language. The answer is hell no. So when that happened, it's basically like, okay, well, can we move on for him? Well, from him? Well, no, because it's $11 million guaranteed this year. So we'll see what it looks like with Dalton Schultz this year. But, like, that is not what Nick Caley wanted. And I think he might have been hurt. I think there might have been, like, a lot to be asked of. But, like, to completely blame Bobby Slowick for it, and this is the other thing about it. Who was Dalton Schultz's OC before that? I sat literally 2 feet from Dalton Schultz. I like Dalton Schultz. We got mutual friends. We got mutual upbringings. We got all that. He said Bobby Slowick was the best OC that he's ever, like, encountered. And he said, I wish I would have had this with the Cowboys. He said that. You go back and listen to the interview on 610 with myself and Lopez. Shout out to Lopez, man. I didn't come over and say what's up to me today. I don't blame him, but yeah. Still got a pot belly, but he's trying to, like, tuck his shirt in and, like, make the pot belly less. Like, it's almost like he's, like, showing off his less pot belly from what it was before. But shout out to Lopez. But the point is that he was not, like, he is not dying to coach Dalton Schultz. Because as soon as he watches that tape, what happens after that? What happens after that? You get the cap stuff, man. You got to make it do what it do. So that's why I said this the other day when we did the tight end position series. I said we can't judge Nick Caley on tight end production, but he has to make it do what it do with Dalton Schultz. It's $11 million. He's not a good player right now. He's not a good player right now.
You ain't never hate.
Swarm.
320. TWUNNY. Let me raise up. Shout out to PD Pablo. He says, I don't know much as you guys. Don't know about that. But we knew that Dallas let him go for a reason. Well, Ferguson was better. Ferguson was way better. Way better. And in my mind, expecting him to block would be like expecting Manning to be a dual threat QB. Like I said, just my thoughts. Yeah, I think that's fair. Like, I would agree with you that Dalton Schultz wasn't used right last year. But who was his OC the year before? That would be the other question. Like the counter would be, who was the OC the year before? It's the same guy that he just praised like crazy. And I do think that Bobby, and I gotta play this, man, because I
damn it, Bobby.
I know that.
Damn it, Bobby.
I know that Bobby did not handle it very well, but he said a lot of good things to say about him. I don't think that the Texans are very high on Dalton Schultz. I don't think they're very high on him. So we'll see what happens with him. The Noah Fant thing, kind of the same thing. It feels like the production is going to come from the slots, and it's not going to be Dalton. Not sitting here acting like that's the best thing, but that's just kind of what it is. Other news around the NFL: Gosh Allen, aka Will Levis. We've always called him Gosh Allen. He's gonna have season-ending surgery. What a weird situation to head into training camp and say, I'm having season-ending surgery. Like right before, like the discomfort got too crazy, so I'm having surgery. Look, we remember the CJ Stroud like build up to the draft where there was conversation about, because Bryce Young was going to be the number one pick. There was conversation about Will Levis, aka Gosh Allen, Anthony Richardson, aka LaFar Jackson, and we were talking about them two versus CJ Stroud. Will Levis ended up getting picked with a Texans pick. They traded that pick to the Cardinals for Will Anderson, and then the Cardinals ended up trading that to Monty Austin for it. Ended up trading that to the Titans for Will Levis. And now he's dead. He gone. Rest in peace. Pour one out for Will Levis. He will never be a starting quarterback in the NFL. I don't even know if people will want him as their backup. But Will Levis is gone. One more time. He dead. He done. He finished. So Will Levis done. Cam Ward now the quarterback for the Titans. Like I say now, we knew it was going to be Cam Ward. I don't think he's worth a shit either. I don't think Cam Ward's going to be great. He might be able to buy 2 years, but it's not gonna be good. And if it is gonna be good, it's not gonna be good with this coach. Callahan's terrible. Callahan's terrible. I told this to Everett Greelings who left the Texans. I said, man, you're gonna have a really good time he left the Texans PR staff to be the head of PR for the Titans. I said, you're going to have a good time with these next two coaching searches in the next 4 years. Like this, the Callahan thing's not working. Terrible. They probably should have fired him, to be honest with you. He's not a good coach. And I actually feel bad that Cam Ward had to go into that situation. I feel like Shane Steichen could actually do some work with Cam Ward, but Shane Steichen ain't the coach of the Titans. He's the coach of the Colts. So yeah, damn shame. Rest in peace, Will Levis. We hardly knew you, my friend. We hardly knew you, mi amigo. In the chat, Jacob. Always dangerous when you say Jacob, man. I looked away when I hit it.
Swarm.
He says Slowick used Schultz right 1 year, and the next year wanted to do things he isn't good at. Nick will fix this. He's talking about he's a big Nick Cayley truther, so he's big on Nick. Nick. Here's my thing. I think I agree with you, but if we're just like doing like an investigative search, and let's say we're in court and we're talking about why did Dalton Schultz suck court? I'm going to type that in right now. Because this is a hell of a chat. Shout out to Jacob. Why did Schultz suck court? So I put the E. Fat fingers. All right. So why did Schultz suck court? Here's my thing. Now, how much different was it? Like how much different was it really? And I don't disagree that it was bad. I 100% agree that it was bad. Watching Dalton Schultz be asked to do what he was asked to do.
Damn it, Bobby.
But is it possible that Dalton Schultz was given more effort when he was on a contract year than when his money was guaranteed? Because the Texans signed him in 2023 to a 1-year contract. And he had to earn his way into the NFL, and it didn't look as bad as it did. Now, on the other hand, you might say maybe he was injured. Maybe Bobby Slowick kind of fell off. I could see that. But then when you saw Dalton Schultz paid, it didn't look the same. Was it the same offense? Was he being asked to do what he's been asked to do? I really don't have these I don't have these numbers, these stats, anything in front of you, but I will say Dalton Schultz, if you look at his performances, he's performed at a much higher level when it's been a contract year as opposed to when he's comfortable and paid. So I'm not sitting here to support the way that Bobby Slowick used him, and Bobby Slowick used him that way. Quite frankly, Bobby Slowick should have put his ass on the sidelines last year. Shouldn't even he should have been benched. Like the year before, year one of DeMeco Ryans, we saw him bench Jalen Petrie. Dalton Schultz should have been benched last year. Like there should have been some sort of statement made with Dalton Schultz. He should have been benched last year. And they didn't do that. So I completely understand what you're saying. I will say this. I don't think they think he's good. I don't think our guy thinks he's good. I think they might try to make it work, but I don't think they think he's good. And that's not an uneducated opinion. Just my own. I don't think that they think Dalton Schultz is good at football. Maybe that changes with the contract year, but I don't think that they think he's good. And this ain't some asshole sitting here like doing a doing a stream. This is a guy who has a little bit. I don't think they think he's good. And I think if they could have upgraded at the tight end position, they would have. It just didn't play into that manner. They would have upgraded. They would have easily upgraded. Now, are they going to take the hit with Dalton Schultz? I doubt it. It's a hell of a hit. Like Nick Caserio he basically franchise tagged him twice. That was dumb as hell. Like, what was that? Like, he wasn't getting that nowhere else. It was dumb as hell. I mean, they're stuck with it. It's basically an apartment lease. Like a lot of you people, I do mean you people. A lot of you people. Shout out to you people.
You ain't never hate.
Swarm.
And I'm raising my hand because I've been here many a times. You get stuck in a lease. Damn, I signed a 1-year lease. Damn, all these other apartments around me. Geez, I'm watching them do their thing. Zach Ertz, Jonnu Smith. Way cheaper. My boy lives over there. He's got this going on. I'm stuck in this lease. You got to make it work. You got to make it work. Sucks, man. Like you're sitting there, you're paying $1,100 a month. This dude's paying like $800. He's getting way more. Your boy's over here. Damn, I got the first 2 months free. Got the first 2 months free, man. We got a badass pool. We got the best amenities. That's what Dalton Schultz is right now, man. I don't think they like it. And like it's kind of funny and it's kind of unfair. But we're sitting here talking about Nick Caley. I like Nick, man. I like Nick. I like Nick Caley. I like Nick Caserio.
Nick.
But what a shitty contract, brother. Like, you don't want to franchise tag a dude, so you franchise tag him twice? What a dumbass decision, man. Like, what a dumb ass decision. Like, that was pathetic, man. Like, if you wanted to franchise tag Dalton Schultz, we could have charged it to the game and we would have $11 million like left. What a dumb ass decision. And the only reason you did that is because he was one of CJ Stroud's top targets his rookie year. And then you just kind of acted loosely when he was on his rookie contract. That was a dumb ass decision. Like one of the worst decisions that we've seen. Like we watched Jonnu Smith last year, Zach Ertz, like all these dudes do their thing at the tight end position. And you gave Dalton Schultz. I like Dalton, man. Like he's cool. But like, dude, that was dumb as hell. That was dumb as hell, man. That was reckless. That was stupid. That was dumb as hell. And this is someone who has to go to the facility every day and actually show my face. And I like Dalton Schultz. That was terrible. That was terrible. What was the point of that? What was the point of that? There was no reason to do that. You could have literally just guaranteed the first year, and then if he earned it, whatever. That was terrible, man. That was terrible, bro. Terrible. On the chat.
You ain't never hate.
Swarm.
Big Jacobs says Slowig used what he was good at. He was talking about that. Yeah, we already went to that. Texan, who remembers when Landry said Dalton was moving like a 14-year-old golden retriever? He was. I said the same thing about He's moving like a fort. And let me this is from personal experience. So Justin Britt, Matt Khalil, like all of them. But like I said, Dalton Schultz is moving like a 14-year-old golden retriever. Dude, pour one out, man. Pour one out for my dog Rex. Pour one out for my dog Rex.
I'm a dog, I'm a dog, I'm a dog, I'm a dog.
Best dog I've ever known, man. Best dog I've ever known. Used to swim by himself, just a beast. 140-pound golden retriever. When I used to get home at like 2 a.m., my stepdad would be cooking him steaks. No shit. Steaks. Like badass steaks. Like this dog was just like a monster. I remember when Wendy's used to have the dollar menu. I'd order the Texas doubles, and I'd bring 2 home for him, and I'd just throw them up in the air. He would like scarf them down. Rex was the man. Best dog I've ever known. My mom loved him. My stepdad loved him. After he put his dog down, he was a dude. Once he got to 14, tough, man. You watch him move. He wasn't moving. He would like go upstairs when I'd have friends over, and he would have to struggle and all that, but he would do it, and he would try to achieve it. But that's how Dalton Schultz moved last year. He moved like he moved like Rex at 14. But I don't think he had that type of glory. Rest in peace to Rex.
I'm a dog, I'm a dog, I'm a dog, I'm a dog.
Love him. 320 says, I love Texas doubles and I love dogs. Dude, Texas doubles used to be like the most insane thing in the game. Just insane. Primetime V doesn't remember a dollar menu. You're too late, bro. Primetime would have effed that up. Shout out to Primetime, my guy. Dude, Wendy's dollar menu used to be insane, bro. Junior bacon cheeseburger, Texas double, 5-piece nugget, medium, not even small, medium fries, small frosty, junior baked potato, junior chili. It used to be crazy. You roll out there. So this is how I know like the exact menu. So you would roll out there and you say, all right, Texas doubles were thick too. They were thicker than McDoubles. So you could order 2 Texas doubles, 2 5-piece nuggets, and a medium fry, and at $5.41 and order a water. Crazy, bro. Crazy, bro. Like insane back in the day. This is probably like 02, 01. This is before Dave died. Dude, the Wendy's dollar menu used to it changed the game, bro. The Texas double, probably about this high. This high, like fully stacked, just crazy. Don't threaten me with a good time, my friend.
You ain't never hate.
Swarm.
Chef with the R says, Landry, I got a top-notch place for you and Cody to try some Bob Mexican too. Why are you threatening me? Yeah, Primetime V doesn't know about that O2. Yeah, dude, bro, you would have died, bro. You would have died there. Let me know, Chef. Yeah, dude, you would have died. That text double crazy. Oh, you would have died in the fast food because Primetime V knows what's up. He said it's Donnie Letty's. Hey, put it in the comments here and tag me and Stoots. We'll try wherever. We got you. We in the streets on that. So camp begins in 2 days. The first year of tough decisions. I want to touch on this when it comes to Nick Caserio and DeMeco Ryan's year 3. So I think there are a couple of firsts for Nick and DeMeco. Shout out to everyone in the stream. Just got back from the media availability. The little what they call it, like some sort of party, whatever. Almost says Donalides. Gotta try. Donalides goes hard. I don't even know what that means. I'm probably pronouncing it wrong. That stuff just kind of happens. Sometimes it just kind of be like that. What's Donna Ladies? Let's check this out. DONA. Damn. Comes right up. Damn, we're talking burgers and stuff? Pull this up. Donna Ladies website. It's Mexican? Damn, bro. Oh, yeah. I've seen her on TV. I heard she brings the heat. She's got like some good drinks and stuff too. Got the menu. Damn, chips and guac 14. Like, do y'all feel like they tax people too much for guac these days? Like, it ain't like that, man. You're cutting up an avocado. I see it at HEB. So they got the chips and guac, which, yeah, I saw her on TV. I don't remember what I saw her at. It's got the egg rolls. I ain't ordering egg rolls in a Mexican restaurant. And then she's got all this. Man, y'all are bringing it like, damn, $80? What are we talking about? That's like the bring out type thing. I get it. $21 for some nachos. Man, she better bring it. I'm not trying to hate on her. I'm not saying she don't bring it, but damn. She better bring it. Those prices, good Lord. I'm sure she's getting taxed and stuff, but God dang, bro. Is that real?
High-grade marijuana called Kush on the streets.
We doing that? I mean, I liked her presence on TV. I didn't see those prices though. God dang. Charge me 21 for nachos? I mean, damn, man. Primetime V's even on it, man. He wasn't even around for the 99 cents. He's charging 21 for nachos, dog, and 14 for chips and guac. That's always what I think is funny, where you have them charging like X amount for the queso, and then like the nachos are a little bit different. I don't know about that, bro. I don't know about her, man. No disrespect, ma'am. That's a lot. That's a lot to ask, man. That's a lot to ask. But anyway, let's describe DeMeco and Caserio. People are out on her right now. Man, she looked good on TV. I didn't see those prices. She is taxing fools like crazy. Good Lord. Hey, go check it out if y'all can check it out. I'm not trying to take out a mortgage, man. My daughter's got to eat. But there's a couple of firsts. There's two firsts that I have with Caserio and DeMeco. And number one is the first of tough decisions. I feel like DeMeco did a really good job of handling his first tough decision when it comes to staffing.
Damn it, Bobby.
He could have easily brought back Bobby Slowick and tried to sell the fan base on it. And I feel like there would have been a decent amount of buy-in if he'd done it. But it was very obvious. The press conferences were awkward. And I was usually the guy that was like pressing Bobby Slowick on his decisions. But I think the fact that DeMeco was willing to say bye-bye to Bobby, I feel like that was a very, very good handling of the tough staff decisions. I don't know if the Chris Strausser decision was tough because it was kind of obvious. Well, I think the fact that he decided he was going to bring back someone who was on the staff, it's kind of TBD as to how that will look. But it was a tough decision as well. And I also think the Gerard Johnson decision, I don't know if Gerard Johnson's a good QB coach or not. I know CJ likes him. CJ liked Bobby. CJ likes Shaq Mason and Laremy Tunsil. So, like, if you're going to tell me that CJ Stroud likes Gerard Johnson, that's why he's back. And I like Gerard. I know Gerard. But I don't think that, like, CJ Stroud's comfortable with him is, like, a good way of selling it, because CJ likes Shaq Mason. He likes Laremy Tunsil. He liked Bobby Slowick before. Maybe not behind the scenes. But he liked Bobby Slowick. I think DeMeco Ryan's balancing all of that. I think the first year of tough staff decisions as compared to year 1 and year 2 of his time here, I think that kind of separates this year from the previous. Next one. And this was the first year of decisions on extensions with core guys. This is more so a Nick Caserio thing. So when Nick Caserio first started, he inherited a hell of a situation. It was a good situation for him, despite popular belief. But he inherited a quarterback that was going to give him multiple draft picks. He inherited very patient ownership, which I think they deserve credit for. Even though I'll poke fun at him anytime I get the opportunity to do so. He inherited a desired situation to the point where DeMeco ended up coming here. But he didn't really have to make, like, tough contractual decisions. Like, his first couple of years when he was talking process over results, they were able to clear cap space, and he was able to just sit here and kind of walk around and get rid of his boy Jack and all that type of stuff. So this was kind of the first year of tough decisions with extensions on core guys. Now, he did extend Titus Howard and Shaq Mason, which was dumb as fuck. But he doesn't really know how to evaluate offensive linemen. So we'll let that go. But this year he decided to extend Jalen Petrie after a little over half of a good year in the nickel role. He extended Derek Stingley. God, he surpassed that annual value. Did Sauce Gardner a little bit of a favor. And it kind of set the table for kind of speculation of how he's going to handle the CJ Stroud, Will Anderson thing. We don't know. It's going to be up next year. But this is the first time that Nick Caserio is really in charge of decisions on extensions with core guys. And quite frankly, you can also take this a step further. And I actually think he handled this good. He decided not to give Laremy Tunsil an extension. He ended up getting rid of him, which I think was a good deal. But this is the first time, like, with this core of the post process over results. Because I actually defended Nick Caserio when he said process over results early in his tenure. This was the first time that Nick Caserio decided to or actually had to extend guys. I think he did a decent job. I don't think the Petrie extension was necessary. It feels kind of Titus Howard-esque. Y'all have heard me say that here. But we'll see how it goes. Like, the Stingley thing didn't look great either. I don't know. Like, I'm not praising him, but it was the first time he had to make the decisions. And at least he got the short-term extension with the Stingley. But I don't think Nick Caserio is, like, I think he's one of the worst contract negotiators in the league, honestly. And I'll ask him about this on Wednesday. Going back to the Higgins thing. I think it was a mix of 2 off seasons. I think it was a mix. Like, you mix going young and then veterans, kind of a balance. So that's what I think with Nick. And we'll see. We'll see how this ends up going, but I just don't. I don't feel terrible about it. What I do? Chef says Landry guessing Taco Bell and Wendy's like a sponsor, but won't try real food.
Damn it, Bobby.
Am I gassing them? I mean, I'm a normal person that eats them, man. Like I drive through. I drive home and I see some Wendy's. I see some Taco Bell. I eat a lot of real food. Not gassing them at all. Wendy's sucks now. Ever since Dave died, Wendy's sucks. So nah. $21 for the nachos is crazy, man. Like y'all are hyping up this chick, brother. $21 for nachos is crazy. Like that's actually kind of crazy. Like a lot of Mexican restaurants do that, but man, like you're talking chips, cheese, all that. 21 for nachos. That's a little enough. Like I don't think she's gonna bring it like that. No wonder she don't show the prices on TV. Yeah, she should not. Chef says those are family portions. It's worth it. Family what? $21 for like what is a family portion for $21 of nachos? Because when I'm with my fam, I'm going through like 3 baskets of chips, bro. It would be one thing if you walked in like that's the other thing about like the nachos. And this isn't just there. This is everywhere. This is every Mexican restaurant. This is me on my soapbox. I don't understand how I can walk into a Mexican restaurant and it's bottomless chips and salsa. And queso is like X amount. And then all of a sudden you're charging like this much for nachos. This is a cultural thing. This is real, man. Like we need to realize this. It does not cost you $20 to make nachos. Like I understand if you're taxing me on all kinds of stuff and I support the restaurant stuff, but you're telling me that I get bottomless chips and salsa. Like me and my pops can eat like 6 baskets of chips. Me and John McClain, we can eat 6 baskets of chips, 6 salsas, all that. We can order a guac or a queso. And then all of a sudden you're going to charge me $21 for nachos. That's crazy. You can't justify that. You can't justify that. Trey says it right. $21 for nachos. Best to have a whole ribeye cut up on the nachos. Dude, you could basically order a half order of fajitas and say, all right, could I get some more chips? Okay. Oh, queso? Okay. And then lay it out. $21 for nachos? That's crazy, man. Taco Bell will never let me down or break my heart. They won't. They won't hold you out. They'll do their thing. These Mexican restaurants will charge you $21 for nachos, man. That's crazy. $21 for nachos is crazy. And I like 14, okay. Like, I guess. And then some of them have like the 8-chip nachos and stuff. And then they bring out like the guac and the sour cream and all that. But man, you're talking $21 for nachos. What? Dude, that's like the top platter. Like if you go to a Mexican spot, let's say you want the best combination dinner. That's $21. You charging me $21 for nachos? Bro, you talk me out of this chick. Whoever the hell this chick is, man, I'm out on her. 21 for nachos, that's crazy as hell. I've been down with the 14, like the fajita beef, like a full piece of fajita or chicken, like on the nacho, like 10 or 12 nachos. You gonna charge me 21? And you better probably have like at least 20 well thought out nachos with with the beef on there. That's crazy, bro. You talking like you're defending that? That's crazy, man. That's insane. That's insane. You're charging 21 for the nachos. That's insane. Camp begins in 2 days. That's the good thing. 2 sleeps from now. 2 sleeps till camp. Shout out to everyone, even the chef. The chef defending the restaurant. You're my guy. Shout out to everyone. We're getting through this. And it's going to be really interesting to see how DeMeco and Caserio balance this out. We're going to hear from Caserio in 2 days. He'll say whatever he's got to say. And then DeMeco will do his thing. We'll ask him about Jimmie Ward. We'll ask him about other stuff. I guess Trent Brown is now good to go per Aaron Wilson. Let's just go through Aaron Wilson's Twitter. So Aaron Wilson is a reporter for the Texans, I guess. I say I guess. I'm being a dick. Yeah, he is. The only reason I say I guess is because we're scrolling through his Twitter. It's just pathetic when it comes to like someone who actually covers the Texans. That's the only reason I say that. But shout out to Aaron Wilson, KPRC. I'll make this bigger. But he had some news today. Look at that picture. Goodness. So he said the Rams signed Dresser when? Okay. Not very Texan-y. He said, and this is relevant. Texans veteran offensive tackle Trent Brown, former Pro Bowl selection, signed to a 1-year deal. Cleared recently to resume football activities by Dr. Dan Cooper, per league source. Tore patellar tendon, right knee last year. Bengals. Team expects to ramp him up gradually as camp starts. Okay, so he might be on the side field. So we'll see what's up there. He also had this one today. Shout out to Aaron, KBRC. New Texans veteran corner Arthur Mollett. He's gotten signed, so they got a body. They got to make a move. So we'll see what happens. He said, "Damn, Aaron's on it." He said, "Medical outlook positive for Texans: Joe Mixon, Christian Harris, Trent Brown, Damian Pierce, Jalen Knoll, Henry Toto, more." Damn, he's talking that. Damn, man, breaking that down. Was Toto really that hurt? But he's got that. Then we got the Petrie thing. I mean, he's actually staying Texans local. I feel like Aaron's like stopped tweeting out the wire. Nah, he hadn't. Vikings active pup list. Seahawks worked out John Samuel. 49ers worked out Quintez Cephas. Eagles worked out Joe Evans. Chargers worked out John Kelly. Chiefs worked out Hal Presley. This is all from the wire. Packers worked out KJ Cloyd. Cowboys. I love Aaron. I'm just messing with that. It's a lot. I mean, it's public stuff. That's a lot, dude. Like if you're following someone on Twitter to be a Texans guy and it's like the Cowboys worked out Needle Dong Johnson. Not fun. But yeah, so there we are. We'll see what happens with the Texans. And we'll figure it out. On the chat before we get out of here. I'm not hating on Donna. I'm just saying them nachos are crazy, bro. I mean, I can be sold over. I'm not hating on. We didn't hate on Donna. We're saying there's other stuff on the menu for 21. Chef says, Landry, I'll let you on, Donna. Brings you to pay the price. Nah, that's fine. Trey says, I'm telling you, if you miss old 80s, 90s tacos, but hit Taco Casa, blah, blah, blah. Sort of crazy. Shane says, got Wilson on mute, might be on play. Yeah, you gotta mute. You gotta mute Aaron on Twitter. You have to. It's fucking exhausting. It's like the whole waiver wire. Literally the wire. 49ers sign, blah, blah, blah. Seahawks sign, blah, blah, blah. Browns sign, blah, blah, blah. But I mean, then you'll have the Texans stuff. You'll be like, okay, that's what's up. Needle Dong Johnson had a nice 40. Aaron tagged his trainers. Shane, yeah, the half frozen, half rocks. Read it. Undefeated. Half frozen, half rocks. Read it. Appreciate everyone for rolling through. We're 2 sleeps away from the start. Can't wait. Appreciate y'all for coming through. Be sure to subscribe. Be sure to like. Be sure to ride along. And be sure to always remember, when it comes to this Texan stuff, we're all in it together. All love. Shout out to A-Dub. Shout out to Donna, whoever the hell y'all talking about. Hit it, Grifty.
Yeah. Yeah. It's the Locker Room on YouTube. You know what it is. Let's get it. Hey. Locker Room. Yeah, we in the locker room. Texas talk. Yeah, you know what we about to do. Localize. Every angle's what we really do. We the source. We the pulse of the city too. Landlocked. Got the game in the headlock. Localize every time. Can't stop, won't stop.